Hello everybody, and what's up fighters, Fightman64 here, and welcome back to some more F-Zero Egg. Last time we wrapped up the whole story mode by doing the final chapter of the game, which involved in us racing against the staff ghost all 3 times on all 3 difficulties to complete every chapter on every difficulty. And we had some challenging time for the staff ghost, but not too hard overall. So yeah, and we unlocked everything that we can possibly get in the story mode. And now we move on to the main event of F-Zero GX, the Grand Prix mode. And we're going to be going after each possible cup in the game, starting with the easiest one all the way up to the hardest one. And we're free to choose vehicles this time, because last time we got every single vehicle of the game, which means I can choose whatever vehicle I want instead of being stuck with the 4 starting vehicles. So, like always, before we begin, if y'all could do me a huge favor and punch that like button on this video, I would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today if you're not a subscriber already, because we still have a lot of you watching my videos as a non-subscriber. And if you're one of them, do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button today, and let's reach that next goal of 700 subscribers. And also hit the notification bell if you enjoy gaming contests such as this one. So, here's what we're going to be doing for Grand Prix mode. So right now I have 3 difficulties. Novice, which is the easiest difficulty, Standard for normal difficulty, and Expert for hard difficulty. This is the highest difficulty we have as of now, but there is one more difficulty that's even higher than Expert, which we'll do later. But for now, let's jump into the Expert difficulty and play our cup. And as you can see, I've already done a few cups here, and the reason I did was because I was grinding up for tickets, but I also did get vehicle parts along the way, because every cup that you complete, no matter the difficulty, or so I think, you get a random machine part. And the machine part you get will be followed, and I will show what all you get on each of the machine part. Okay, so unfortunately I couldn't find an accurate guideline for here, with each custom part you went for each cup in each difficulty, so we're just gonna roll with what we get in this video. So, we're gonna go ahead and start the Ruby Cup, which is the first cup of the game, and I think for the first Grand Prix to open things up, I think I'm gonna go with my mind is thinking I think I'll start with Red Gazelle to start off. Red Gazelle's pretty good, and he'll be our Grand Prix opener for Expert class. So for each cup there are at least 5 tracks, and starting off we're going to be doing Mute City Twist Road. What you can also do is, aside from changing your setup, you can also switch your colors, and that is just simply by hitting the trigger button. And I think for the first one I'm going to go with the green Red Gazelle. They also do have their own special animation, by the way, which I think is pretty cool. But let's get to it. First track of the game, Mute City Twist Road. This is a pretty easy track, and it's not that difficult. So, basically this is pretty simple. You're doing 3 laps on each track, and the harder the difficulty, the amount of time that some other racer will do their spin attack, as you just saw now. Now I will say as a big note to say, well, is what you want to take note of here is the fact that on novice difficulty, there are like no vehicle that does their spin attack. And the AIs in expert difficulty, they are quite ruthless. That I will say much. But honestly, they're not as ruthless as the other difficulty that is unlockable, but it can make for quite a challenge. And it looks like we're going to be able to win this race and beat Black Shadow to the finish line. No problemo. Mike Gazelle is taking this first race. And based on how well you do in terms of ranking, will determine how many numbers of points you get. This is similar to what every F-Zero game is. Highest score, 100 points. Lowest score, 15 points. And if you crash for any reason, you don't get any points in return. And what you're also going to notice is that there's going to be name of every vehicle that are participating in today's race. But there's an Easter egg you can do. If you press the V button, then you can look at the driver's vehicle based on which one is the driver. If you're like not interested in a vehicle that they're driving by any chance. But anyway, there you go. That is Twist Road, Mute City, and now we move on to the next. Casino Palace Split Oval. This one's another pretty easy one. And I think for this one I'm gonna go for the blue one for Red Gazelle. Yeah, Red Gazelle's actually pretty good in this one, which is why I decided to choose him. Aside from the fact that he does have a weak vehicle, there's really not much to worry about. I will have to worry about someone hitting me at a bad spot, because that can happen. And the thing you'll also notice that on the bottom left side of the screen, see where the star is? That is your life count. The higher the difficulty, the lower your life count is. Novice has 5 lives. Standard has 4. Expert has 3. And as for the unlockable difficulty, well, that's a surprise for later. I don't really want to spoil how many lives you get on the unlockable difficulty just yet. But instead, we're just gonna cruise our way to victory, and it's really just an oval shape, nothing too special. And honestly, this one I feel like is a little easier than what Twist Road is. But yeah, we came out on top once again. Nobody has been able to beat us. So far. And it looks like Jody Summers is gonna be my next rival. I remain at number 1. Jody is at number 2. Mrs. Aerith at 3. Captain Falcon 4. Don Cheney at 5. And Dyson Chin at 6. They are on the top 6 of them now. And now we get to one of the more difficult tracks. This is Sand Ocean Surface Slide. This track, in my opinion, is probably one of the hardest tracks to get used to. Well, what I say is like the hardest one of them all? Not really. But there are some tricky turns that you gotta deal with. I mean, 2-star difficulty, but whatever. The shape of this track almost kind of remind me of the N64 Rainbow Road a little bit. And I kind of can base off of Chapter 9's track of Phantom Road to be a track that looks like a triple clef. Yeah. But what I will say here about this track is that I actually do love the stage environment that happens on this particular track, and you'll see what I mean with this when we get to that. It's mostly like at the very end of the track. I also love how large that moon is, that crescent moon in the sun. Kind of look like Tatooine from Star Wars. Now that I think about it, just a little bit. As you can see, there's a lot of action going on over there. In terms of like aquamarine creatures in the sand, like literally out in a desert, and I just crashed into a wall. Well, that's already one life gone. And I didn't even get to the energy bar too, which sucks. That's okay though, because I still have plenty more life to go on. I could try to get a better run. Yeah, I'm not really worried about losing all my life here, but I probably should have not used my boots at the end. So that was careless of me on my part. We are doing better in terms of ranking though. Alright, are we going to be taking first place on the first lap? Yes, we are. We were in 8th place last time, I think. Honestly, I forgot. Well, whatever. Doing much better than last time, though. I will also say that that tracks like that the OST on the Grand Prix, much like it is in story mode, it's actually pretty cool. Honestly, I love it. Oh, okay. We're still in the lead after 2 laps, and Roger Buster just passed us, but it didn't take us long to like recover first. Got quite a bit of competition on our hand. Let's see if they can keep up. If they can, that is. I have a plan of what I want to do here. Giant worm! It's going fishing as we get first place on Sand Ocean Surface Slide. Black Shadow is definitely not catching us there. Although Black Shadow is has one of the best vehicles in the game, aside from Don Geni's vehicle. Some interesting rankings we got here, and we still got our perfect point so far, even if we did lose a life accidentally. Anyway, look, Captain Falcon is now our new rival. Black Shadow's in 3rd, Mrs. Arrow in 4th, Jody in 5th, and Super Arrow is in 6th place. But I'm gonna look at all these other racers to see where they play. I might crash some racers here, but I'm not sure. I mean, it is an option that you can do after all, but yeah. Next is Loop Cross in the lightning area. This time not dealing with the hole-the-wall thing, because Chapter 5 sucks in the story mode. Okay, so what Loop Cross? This one's actually pretty good This track is actually pretty good in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of circling around, which is literally why it's called a loop. But yeah. Ha! Nice try, Blood Falcon, but you're not crashing me today. This isn't Chapter 7 anymore, my dude. Now the problem is John Cheney, who has one of the best accelerations in the game. Or like best stats, in other words. You can definitely see how creative some of the tracks are, which is why this game is like visually charming in that standard. Whoa! I went really fast on that one. That was pretty impressive, honestly. I gained a miraculous lead against Don Cheney there. But don't worry, they'll probably catch up, and it looked like somebody has crashed on this course. I'm kind of intrigued on who it is that really crashed. Two of them crashed now. Also, yeah, crashing is very much possible in this particular track. And the reason why is because, well, there is one section where you can fly off the track. If you use it at the wrong time and don't maneuver it correctly. That or somebody can flip you over, which that is also a possibility. As it did happen to me in story mode at least a few times. But it looks like so far, expert difficulty has proven to be no match for me. Still got that good win streak going. Alright, so who was our unlucky victim this time? PJ and Michael Chain. No rival. No particular rival that crashed. Okay. Black Shadow and Captain Falcon switch play. This is Arrow in 4. Don Cheney back in 5th. And Chody fell down a rank again in the top 6. You know, I would watch the replay if I wanted to, but for recording purposes, I'm not even gonna bother to see what happens, because next is probably one of my favorite tracks of this cup. This is Aeropolis Multiplex. I seriously love this track. The area is good too, in that sense. Gotta go ahead and take out Black Shadow and Zoda here because why not? That and Black Shadow is one of my rivals, and I'd rather have the Man in the Awesome Suit be my rival. And but when I say Man in the Awesome Suit, I obviously mean Captain Falcon in that sense. Since I call him the Man in the Awesome Suit since doing my Super Smash Bros. Let's Play. I don't know. I do actually prefer long track like this one because that way it's like it's much easier to beat opponents. As long as you're like not dealing with any circumstances and whatnot. So there's also a lot of sharp turns here, but honestly, I could worry less about those sharp turns. Ugh. A lot of the music kicks ass, man, and I mean they do. Got a big lead on him so far. Yeah, so far this is looking like a runaway competition for Mr. Mighty Gazelle over here. and it's Red Gazelle. Looks like we may be getting a perfect 500 score here. And I would for sure love to see that happen. And it really is more than likely going to be the case. I moved too early. Too early. Oops. Oh well. Nothing to worry about. They are way too far behind to catch up to me at this rate. Because I just about got this victory locked down for the perfect 500 points to start off the Ruby Cup Grand Prix. Oh yeah. Sideboard. Mike Gazelle dominated. Oh. This game is so fun, man. Glad to be doing this. Alright, aside from Zoda and Black Shadow that intentionally crashed, Boy Falcon and Dr. Class also have met a bad demise. Final result! In the top 3, we have me with a perfect 500 point, Mrs. Arrow with 337 in second place. Third place is Captain Falcon, the man in the awesome suit, taking 327 points. Fourth place, Black Shadow with 289 points. Dice on Chin in fifth with 285, and Jody Summer with 278. But what was our lowest score, though? Our lowest score was a tie for 29th place between Leon and Gigi Boy for 107 points. And these guys aren't even one of the best racers, too, even. Yep, look like we're off to a pretty good start. And with that, already we have completed the first cup of the game. And I think I'm just gonna let it roll on here on out. So I'll be back to commentating in a moment. And with that, Mike Gazelle had become champion of our first Grand Prix. But there's something else we gotta do.
F-Zero TV. Now I'd like to get up close and personal with the champion. Champion, I'd like to interview you.
Alright then. Let's see what question we have. Kudos on your expert victory. What are your plans now? And how about that prize money? Let's go with the second one.
What are your plans now you've won?
Plans? Who makes plans? I go where the wind takes me.
Thank you for the interview. This has been a Speed Crazy Dream Extravaganza episode of F-Zero TV. That's it, everyone. We'll see you at the next Grand Prix. F-Zero TV.
Yep, that can happen whenever you're playing an original F-Zero machine. And for our reward, we get 30 tickets. And it looks like we got triple V this time around. I did get unlock some earlier parts here, but whatever. But before I end off this episode, I'd like to do something real quick. Because there's a secret cheat code that we can do here. So, here's a simple cheat code for you, because we're going to be unlocking an extra music on our hand, which I'll play in the next episode. So let's go there. Alright, so your next code for this one are as followed. I will put them up on the screen right now. Did you hear that? That was a sound of a tinkle. And that was because I successfully put in the cheat code. What the cheat code I put in, you may ask? Well, the cheat code I put in is the sound of Mute City. This is done by pressing 3 X's, Y, another 3 X's, Y, 2 Z's, left, right, left, right, left, right. And this has to be done on the D-pad for direction. And it costs a max of 99 tickets. You can also notice that I did unlock all the staff goals in the process as well. But staff goals aren't something I'm going to be worrying about for this Let's Play, so yeah. So there you go. There's one cheat code for you. Now there is another one, but I think I will show that in the next episode. So, on that further note, that is going to be it for our first F-Zero Grand Prix of F-Zero GX on Expert difficulty. So, once again, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching this. And if you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to see the next cup, don't forget to punch that like button. Next time, we're going to be taking on the Sapphire Cup on the same difficulty that we played today. So, join me back here next time. So, once again, I am Fightman64. See you all. Have a good day. Game on, my friends. And take care. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe. Adios.